Good morning, guys. Hopefully you're all well. A little bit later stream than usual. Had some obligations this morning to take care of, but all is well. So I'm going to take a look at the Bitcoin price. It did come down to the box we identified yesterday on stream. We were looking for a little bit lower. We did get said move, and it's actually run back up to, well, it kind of front ran some resistance for me. But we'll talk about the areas on the chart. Really, the analysis from yesterday and the day before still stand on the high time frames, so we likely won't spend as much time on the higher time frames. We're going to talk low time frame today. Going to cover the DXY and the SPX, so the S&P 500. Probably won't get much into alts today. We do have a dedicated altcoin live stream tomorrow night, though. So Fridays are altcoin charts, so we'll probably handle that stuff there. If you're in the group, I'm going to host a Saturday class. I need to post a time for that. And we're going to build a chart together, start to finish. We're going to go over some levels. That way, people that are new can kind of get an introduction to how we want to start building those charts. And the coin that I was asked about was LDO. And I've actually seen that one's been getting some attention from other influencers. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at it. And I don't know what LDO is or does. Don't really care. We're just going to look at the chart, build it out, and see what we think. So look forward to that on Saturday. Max, anything to add before I jump into the charts?
Crack on, my man.
Yeah, there we go. That's why I like you. Very little talk. All right, guys. So very, very simply put, you guys know how much I like boxes, right? So these are the two boxes that matter most right now. Let me get rid of this. It was a 15-minute. What you're going to notice is we have two gold pockets identified here. We still have our September high. That's really the key level still. If we lose that level, I'm looking for a broader correction potentially to come down to these lows. However, for right now, you are simply range bound, right? So you can see that we have been range bound for quite some time. We are putting in some form of a structure here, which we talked about previously. And a lot of people wanted this to be an ascending triangle. However, that is shown to not be the case. We now have pretty important support here where we have front run the lower end of the support, which is okay. But we have in the statistical requirements of the week, our weekly pip, and they've actually been pretty good gauge. You can see that China is essentially holding the gateway to 3.6. So it's like our zone here. I wouldn't no man's land by any means, but if you give up 3.857, coming down to 23.646, right? That's what we can say. We also filled in our session in POCs down here. So you are back at support. You did leave the lows. We've talked about this. We finally took these lows, right? These lows were taken, and these lows were taken right here. If you wanted to consider these lows, right? You've taken these stops. However, you have left these guys alone right here, and you have left this wick right here. So if it were me and I was looking for a trade, you could definitely trade this on a day trade basis off this support. It's been very, very good. I would be looking at potential for sweeping both of these lows into this right here would be ideal if taken. Boom, 23,554. So I guess we could just do this. We have too many circles on the chart. This low, and this is just going to be one big fat low right here. How about that? There we go. Look at that. Now they're friends. That would be the ideal play for me if I was looking for a long and I was not in one already. Like, let's say you missed this move. If you're in this move already, it's actually been a pretty good trade already. So hopefully you've taken some profits. I know Max got into a secondary long this morning off of more of a lower time frame setup. I'll let him cover that. For me, I was looking at this support, which is about where I think he got in. He had other confluences there to take that quick scalp trade. But realistically, nothing is broken yet. We're still range bound. We still have time coming in on our Bitcoin macro. We're still looking at this as February 27th being the one-to-one in time looking for. And I am giving it that like week grace period because you can see that this isn't meant to be perfect. We need log. Isn't meant to be perfect, but if we start breaking back above 4.7, we know we're probably going to 25.1, maybe 2, challenge this high yet again. And at that time, I would expect to maybe even break it and go up. So that what you need to look for, that's your trigger. You're looking to see 24/7 claimed on a material closing basis. And if you go over here, you can say I have a box here. And if Bitcoin chart, you can see that's just where these highs are settling up most recently. So I've just a box from 24/7 up to these local highs. Like right here, you can see like borderline SFP at 24.79. You would just be looking to see price effectively get above this area of the chart. Right? That's all we're looking to do. Nothing fancy. Good things happen above this area. So nothing has changed in that regard. But if you start cracking that, I would expect that you're going to be putting some pressure onto these highs and maybe even trying to resolve it. Excuse me. But I would expect at least an attempt at a new high at that time. So that's what you need to be aware of. It's also the local gold pocket from the most recent high to our low. Okay, so that's why that level is important. Like I said, it did front run me last night. I did get a position on this short. I ended up tapping out around the weekly open because I went to bed and I just wanted a secure take profit. Got out of the position. I think it was like a 13% runner, which was good. And lo and behold, I should have just held it to the lows because it went much, much lower. But, again, that wasn't the purpose of the trade. It was just a day trade. So, and I try not to trade at night, but, it happens. Now, in terms of the guys in the group here for our current trend, you can see this is the developing trend over the course of the week. Things are pretty clean. So if we start breaking open and breaking above this trend, I would expect to see this 24/7 to 24,868 zone. That's a nice, $300 to $600 move almost. That would be that'd be the play, So if you're long in this region, you're looking to take this up. You want to see this trend broken to the upside, and we can go from there. DXY is ripping and tearing, still front running my target here at 104.775 up to 105.05. Still looking for that. The trend on this is still up. So nothing's changed there. You can see that it did come back down to some really key support right here at the 12M1, establish itself, and now has made a new high. Low key kind of swept the high here. So I imagine anyone that's watching this chart is looking for the SFP here. Boom, you can see you just took it. So if it clears that, I would definitely expect to see the edges of this box at that time. And again, if we clear this box, and I say this because once it's in here, I expect this to operate as resistance in this case. If the box does become support at any point, though, I'm expecting moves up local high right here, which you can see is also a 6-month level for us. And I'll show you what that looks like right here. So you see how this has been in terms of a higher time frame candle. This is where price has been settling up underneath, right? So this is going to be an important area to get back above. Now, this being a 6-month candle, it's only February, so there's still about 3 months and some change left on this candle. So if it even comes up above it, what we know is it's been historically finding resistance and coming back down. So a pop above this area precludes a retest of this resistance and the current 2021 high, right? So that's what you're looking for. So you just box this off like so, and you would just say, this is my 2021 high, or 2023 high, I just said 2021, and the 6-month SFP, and we can go down to the daily now, and you can see exactly what's going on. Now we're going box to box, right? So you're looking to see if this holds the 12M1, pushes through this box into the next box. What happens if we clear this box? Well, we're probably going to 106.942, 107.645 next. And the price of these altcoins and Bitcoin and the S&P 500 are probably they're going to reap the benefits of that. It's not going to be for them. But for anyone that missed these lows, it gives you a second opportunity at the range. In terms of the SPX, we talked about 39.7814 last night, which was the backup to the yearly pivot, or the monthly pivot, excuse me. Right? Let's go down to the 1 hour. And this was the zone we talked about. We said that 39.8838 was going to be support, as it was, and that we might expect an SFP into this level below it, which you got. You gapped up today. So if you come back down, you want to see this holding as support and setting up shop. However, if it does not, local gold pocket comes down here, and so does your 6-month pivot, which was historically very, very good support. So that would be the next region I'd be looking for to take any trades if I was trading traditional markets. So the DXY invalidations is basically if we lose the 104.3 12M1 here, I would expect to potentially be putting in a local top and maybe try to put in a higher low somewhere in this region. But we can cross that bridge if we get there. Things like Matic, I'm still holding this short on Matic, and that's really all I've got going on, guys. Just being patient, have some alerts set from the charts we have gone over in the past, and that's it. So I'm gonna let Max take over and cover some order flow.
Let me get my screen up. Been a div in the group, but yeah, so today's been great for trading. It really has. You've had big moves. It's been pretty easy to spot. In the members update that we had this morning, I mentioned the point of control that we had. It was going to be the resistance that front ran the gold pocket you've got up there. You also had a naked pivot that was left from the same day that pivot was formed, I believe. No, sorry, from the day after. So you've got resistance prior to the golden pocket, which I know that I was wrong, but the naked point of control really did catch it. I didn't get that trade initially. I caught it down here. I went back to sleep after the members update. And then seen here, we had the red-green back test of the red-green PVAs, back test of the previous day high. And if you look at the order flow, it was pretty sweet when you're getting there. It was this bit on the chart. You can see tons of buyers, absolutely tons of buyers. Bearish divergence formed. And you can see this candle here, which is the one that you back tested on and got the red-green PVAs on. It was positive delta. So longs were coming in here and they were trapped in the same candle. So you've got trap traders. There was many in these two candles here, trap traders. And, initially as you lost the VWAP, put tons of traders underwater. So bearish divergence, trap traders, good shit. And then the longs down here, similar situation. You had some trap shorts. You could see as you came down here, it was a very fast move down. I am surprised we didn't take the low that was made yesterday. If we look at that on TradingView, here, I'm surprised we didn't take this low yesterday and come down to that level which Magic mentioned, which was a touch below it. I can't remember what he said. It may have been the September high. I can't remember 100% which level it was down here, but I'm surprised we didn't take the low earlier. But anyway, we take what the charts give us. And you can see that as you came down here, you had a lot of buying, which is, it's okay. You're in a position where you'd buy from down here. So you just absolutely nailed all the longs. All the shorts, all the selling has already taken place in the drop. It was huge volume, huge drop off in open interest. All those longs that were in from this morning gone, absolutely taken, wiped out the charts. You had shorts building down here as well. You can see this candle here had shorts. This candle here had shorts. And then you swung failed the low. And then as you got back above it, you had buying imbalances, buyers coming in this candle, which was your signal to, get into the trade, and continued buying imbalances as you make it up. So, that was a sweet trade. Very, very easy to identify that one using order flow. And then the third trade, second long, was from very simple, the golden pocket. This one was quick, but it was very, this is probably the easiest trade of the day. If you pull the gold pocket, simple golden pocket, important level, as Magic mentioned, he mentioned to me before that it's the China pivot here. So you've got the China weekly pivot here, gold pocket, very key level. And if we look at it on the order flow, you can see huge negative delta. And then the open interest has got a rather large wick here. Now, the giveaway for myself, and I am nowhere on this chart where I want to be, was here. So the giveaway for me, I love this chart. I know members in the group use the delta chart, and it was all giving you, you're all looking at the same thing different ways. It's fine, whichever way works for you. This one here, this is like, for me, what I really enjoy. So this is like the cleanest way to visualize that you want to enter a trade. Very negative delta going into it. Fast is ideal. And you can see it was actually, ignore the zeros. Basically, these large open interest spikes are effectively spread out across this, but the data can't come in fast enough to make it equivalent because these candles are coming in at 1 second. So it's very fast. And you can see it's coming in very fast. Huge shorts coming in right as you go into the golden pocket. My favorite thing to trade is against trap traders. As you get the the positive delta come on, it was a bit of a no-brainer to get into the trade. And then you can take that up to the VWAP again. So 2 trades to the VWAP, been very, it's been very giving. Let's just say that today. It's been good considering yesterday was shit for me. But, you know, it is what it is. Right now, looking at what we've got here, looks like you've got some bullish divergence forming, but for that to be the case, you know, bullish divergence and looking at the open interest increases that we've got, it's majority on it's going to be on traders, and there is some positions changing hands here. But looking at this 4.5 million increase on the negative delta here, you want to get above the VWAP. It seems like it's been rejection twice here. Sorry, it's been resistance twice. If we were to get above that, you know, we can start to look for, well, the initial one would be taking them out from here. But ultimately, any shorts that weren't taken out from earlier, you know, their stop loss is going to be higher. I think if we were to reclaim the VWAP and really start to push, really looking at the daily open, the weekly open, because I know that where we rejected from was the golden pocket. So if we pull this from here, I've got it exact to the high there, but it tells you, you know, the same story. It just shows you that this area here on the charts is really important on the local time frames. Gold pocket, daily open, weekly open, get above the weekly open. I think you're going to go, I think you're going into that golden pocket at least, but I think you could probably go quite far past it. So really important that it, you know, claims the VWAP, claims the weekly open, you know, level to level. And that's the way you've got to trade it. But yeah, I won't be shorting here right now, even though it could drop. It has the potential to. It has the trapped traders on the long side. You know, you are getting some longs come into the market, but I think there's more shorts in it right now. I might actually tell a lie. There's some longs up here, but I imagine they're taken out there. It's a difficult one to really judge. If you're going off CVD alone, there's more selling going on, and it's doing a worse job. So claim the VWAP, take this high, and ultimately go and try and claim the weekly open. And then I think you're going into the golden pocket at least. I'll be rather conservative with that view. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm really looking at it right now. If we can get above here, I'll be eager to take a long. If not, you have to long from lower. And if you get to the weekly open and reject, you know, it does give you another trade. Let me pop this on. It always makes a mess of my charts. You know, if you get to the weekly open and you reject, well, you've SFP'd this high, and that can be your, you know, your confirmation of the trade of the rejection. Reject from there, it gives you another trade, and you can trade it down. Daily open might be in the way, but you know, you can trade it down to the VWAP. Maybe wait for the loss of the daily open, but you know, it depends how safe you want to trade this. But yeah, rejection from the weekly open, SFP of the high, first take profit the VWAP, stop loss to entry, and then I would let that bad boy ride, because if you lost the VWAP, lost the monthly point of control, chances are you're going to come down and swing them lows. So, you know, you've got 2 potential areas to move there. It's just, you know, the longs are a more difficult trade initially, and you know, the shorts you do want from higher. So it's 50-50 really, but you know, you've got the setups there, and I don't think we have much else to go off. I don't think there's any single prints left. No, there's not for right now. There was this morning, but they were closed rather quickly. I know Danny pointed out the fact, I think it was Danny in the group, that we've got a volume point of control where we are, and the time point of control is currently here. Looks like it's going to change in the next half an hour, but normally it's a bearish sign when you have more volume transacted. Sorry, something is in my throat. Always happens when I talk too much. And we're spending time up here, but all the volume's coming in down here. It's normally a bearish sign. So, you know, be aware of that. And then we've also got from way back when, I've not updated this, so let me do that now. You come here, and then you guys go to there. Some single print, oh, actually, it's really not like that. It's just like that. We've got some single prints below the low. So if we are going to take it, you know, I think it coincides with some levels that we have got, but it, you know, could come down and tap them single prints. If it does start to make its way back into them, you know, you could come down to, you know, quite a bit lower, down to that 810 mark, which Magic fucking loves. So, you know, you've got many things to be aware of here, and it's in a difficult spot right now. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. I've not really got too much else to say. I think I need some water.
Yeah, same. I mean, the levels are the levels. I'm looking to maybe get a chance at that low, or maybe trade up to that box and take the high we put in last night in the Asia session. That would be my ideal trade. So alerts are set for the local highs and the local low here from the past 24 hours. And yeah, I'm going to take a trade according to one of those at some point. You know, it's just a matter of time. I don't really have anything else. We're going to do alts tomorrow. My internet connection is apparently rubbish yet again, according to what I'm reading in the chat. So sorry about that, guys. We're going to be making some phone calls. We'll get that sorted because that's it's unacceptable, unfortunately, not just for you guys, but for me, because that's very frustrating given the price that I pay for this super fast internet. But let's cut it short. It's 20 minutes. That's a good stop point for us. The analysis is the analysis. Hopefully you guys, if you have any questions, pop in the group, fire away. We'll be around the rest of the day, and I'll be on Debate Crypto at 2 o'clock as well. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. All good.